And now uh, live. Today I've prepared something good for you, and this is entrepreneurship. Um, Entrepreneurship is a knowledge that you need, will require for you to start a business. Not all businesses prosper. There are those businesses that they start today and tomorrow they collapse. But if you want to be an endless entrepreneur, you're supposed to have knowledge. Now, today I prepared something good for you, and this is just an presentation of this. I want just to teach you something very important, and this is the thing that I want to. Uh, it is very, very simple and good, and I hope you will like it. Um, this is entrepreneurship. The first thing that you're supposed to know is the definition of entrepreneur, the introduction to entrepreneurship. Think of the terms difference between self-employment and salaried employment. We have so many things like evolution of entrepreneurship, the entrepreneur. Um, we have also the creativity and innovation. We have the entrepreneur culture, okay, the way of how or the concept of the entrepreneur culture, habits, the promotion, entrepreneur development, factors that inhibit entrepreneur development. Now, those are the things that you need to have in mind for you to have a successful business. Now, move very fast because I'm also tired here. I want you to go with me to the introduction of this topic of introduction. Now, this is the introduction of entrepreneurship. Okay, you'll see entrepreneur, uh, the definition of entrepreneur, the person, or this is the person who identifies a business opportunity and harness obtaining the resources necessary to initiate a successful business activity. Number one, the entrepreneur implement the idea. There's an entrepreneur idea. There's these ideas that comes in mind because maybe you're thinking about opening a hardware. So this is an idea that comes in mind. So as an entrepreneur, you're supposed to implement this idea. Then you're supposed to undertake to operate the business. So entrepreneur is therefore a central key individual in the society who makes things happen for economic development. You know, if you want to raise the standard of a living in the society, for those who are willing to open their businesses. That's the way of how to raise the standard of living. So if you want to open a business, you're supposed to have idea. So the first thing you're supposed to know that you are an entrepreneur because an entrepreneur is a person who identifies the opportunity and uses the opportunity to open a successful business activity. Now, we have entrepreneurship. If the entrepreneur is the person, how about the entrepreneurship? Now, entrepreneurship is a borrowed name or borrowed word. It's a French word which means to undertake and focuses on business enterprises. So we borrowed that entrepreneurship term so that we can use it in a business. So it is a French word meaning to undertake and focus on a business enterprise. Also, entrepreneurship can exist in any situation. Therefore, it is creation of values through establishment of business activity. So, entrepreneurship means having an idea of owns and trying to implement that idea. I know my viewer, you have an idea. You want to open something that to bring income, to bring money in your pocket. Now, you're supposed to have an idea. There's a book that I read uh, wrote by the author called Anton Robbins, who says that a man works for us. You are not working for money. Man works for you. So you're supposed to implement the ideas so that money can work for you. Now, entrepreneurship is that term. I've said it's a borrowed term from French. It's a French borrowed term, but it all shows of how we can undertake and focuses on a business activity or enterprise. Entrepreneurship is also a term which encompasses what entrepreneur do. Number one, an entrepreneur identifies a business opportunity. You're supposed to know how to create this opportunity. So number one is very important. Create a business opportunity. You're supposed to have an opportunity, okay, and make use of this opportunity for the better tomorrow. So use the opportunity for particular demand. For example, if people need tomatoes and you have that opportunity, you can bring that tomatoes in the market. You're supposed to do that. Bring those tomatoes in the market so that people can get. That is a demand. When the demand is high, you're supposed to bring the suppliers. You have to supply the resources. So you need to identify the opportunity, and also you're supposed to carry your products which your customers need. You don't sell something that customers do not need, because you will end up failing. But you're supposed to create an opportunity and make use of this opportunity to bring a very important product in the market. And you're supposed also to know this product um, is needed in the market. Don't sell a tomato where people don't need tomatoes. You will collapse, you will fail. But bring something that people need. You can't open a school where there's already a school, or maybe people don't like to go to school. You'll just suffer. Don't open maybe a hardware where people don't build some, they don't construct houses. You'll suffer. But make sure, learn what these customers need. What are these things? Now, once if you know what your customer need, you have to come up with what your customers need. Okay, I want also to talk about the factors that impending the growth of entrepreneurship, because we have seen up there that the entrepreneur is a person who identifies the opportunity, and also we have defined the entrepreneurship as also it's a borrowed word, but it's only the entrepreneurship who focuses on a business enterprise. So factors that impede the growth of entrepreneurship. Number one, now the term impending, maybe it's a vocabulary, but see, this is a hindering, something that hinders the growth of entrepreneurship. Number one is high taxation level. Okay, now this is the problem that we are suffering as entrepreneurs in this country, because the government has raised the taxes, and every product is taxed. So you will see that this thing does not promote entrepreneurship, but it takes down the morale of people who want to open businesses. Also, corruption and official harassment. I remember one day when um, I went to someone's office. He's a very prominent guy, but I wanted to get a certificate so that I can do something. Okay, but those people that I met there, they harassed me. It's like they didn't want me to have the certificate. So sometimes we are harassed because we are meeting corrupt people. Corruption, they need money, so that it's like they are selling everything. Okay, so corruption also demeans the appetite of someone to open a business. Also, a regulated competition from outside countries. Also, a declined personal incomes, the high cost of finance. Okay, lack of entrepreneurial culture, poor transport and communication networks, lack of skills and knowledge. It is very dangerous that you will not proceed, but there'll be no branches. You know, if you open a business, probably we need you to go to move on, want you at least you after some years you open some more businesses. So you need at least skills that can enable you to manage your business. Then you have to explain the distinctions between an entrepreneur and a manager. You know, there's a big difference between an entrepreneur and a manager. Okay, entrepreneur is the one who carries the idea, is the guardian. The one who carries the idea and implement that idea is an entrepreneur. But manager manages everything in the business. Is the controller that controls all the activities in the business. This is a manager. So if you are an entrepreneur, you need a manager. You need someone who will control all the activities in your business. So for those who are opening big businesses, you need also to employ people who will control all the activities in the business. Don't just leave it, or maybe you take control of it, and maybe you don't have in that scale. So if you want your business to grow, uh, you need some people who will push you, who will help you to move on, so that you can able to succeed. To succeed. So we have been talking about factors that impede the growth of entrepreneurship, and I have mentioned maybe just like a summary: high taxation level, corruption, social harassment, regulated competition from outside countries, decline in personal incomes, the high cost of finance, lack of entrepreneurial culture, poor transport and communication networks, lack of skills and knowledge. The distinction between entrepreneur and the manager. I've already explained that the entrepreneur is the one that carries um, the idea, while the manager controls the activities in the business. You're supposed to understand. These are very clear knowledge, and maybe if we are together, we are moving together, you'll see things becoming easy. Now, let us talk about entrepreneurial behavior. We have said entrepreneur is a person. Now, there's a behavior though that you're supposed to know. Several theories have been developed to explain why entrepreneurs behave the way they do. Now, some they say that entrepreneurs are not made, are born. Some that say that entrepreneurs are high skilled. You know, those are the theories that are put in place. But what are you talking about, you as an individual? So those theories that has placed in placed, maybe has people have explained about, is completely different. There has been a debate on whether entrepreneurs are born or made. Now, there's a debate. Okay, born hereditary, made entrepreneurs are environmental influenced by where they are born. Now, I want to explain something very important, and I want you to be very attentive. I want to explain about the theories that explains about the entrepreneur behavior. We have this economic theory. Now, the theory explains entrepreneurial behavior as influenced by economic factors, or factors that through which it is impossible to introduce new methods. Now, those are the behavior, exactly as the theories that explains about entrepreneur. Number one is economic theory. Okay, I've said that this theory explains entrepreneurial behavior as influenced by economic factors through which it is possible to introduce new methods. It is very possible to find new sources of materials. It is possible to open new markets. Okay, now those are the theories and I want to explain so that people can understand. Apart from economic, we have psychological factors that explains about entrepreneur. Now, this theory states that entrepreneurs have unique values, attitudes, needs within which driven them. It is mostly concerned with personal traits as the main determinants of the entrepreneurial behavior. Now, I want to explain for those who are busy, maybe taking down some notes. I want to tell you this. This theory is very complicated theory. You know, there's something very dangerous. Is people playing with psychology. Now, psychological factor, I've said it states that entrepreneurs have unique values, attitudes. Okay, they are so different from other people. The unique values, attitude, needs within which driven them. It is mostly concerned with personality traits as the main determinants of entrepreneurial behavior. People are likely to become entrepreneurs because of his high liking of saying, dependence or attitude needs to satisfy certain needs, which is completely very right. So apart from economic and psychological, let us talk about sociological factors. Okay, we have explained about psychological. Now it is sociological factor. This maintains that environmental factors such as beliefs, culture, social structures, determinants entrepreneurial behaviors. Now the beliefs, that's why I have to explain to you that there's beliefs. People maybe they don't eat certain uh, thing. Maybe you are selling something that people do not eat. Okay, there are some other people or some communities that don't eat a certain product, so you can't bring it to market because you will end up getting zero. You're not getting the right the profit. Don't bring something that people do not they do not need, or maybe the certain community does not need that kind of product. So psychological factors is also very important. Then we have management factors. Okay, and this emphasizes on the organization of resources in a specific way to attain profits. Leadership impacts on behaviors and facilitates pioneership, achieving goals, and provides vision. This is managerial factors. It explains about organization of resources. How do you organize your resources? How do you organize your activities? How do you facilitate your things um, in achieving your goals? Now, those are the theories that explains about entrepreneurial uh, behavior. In summary, we have talked about how many? There are four: economic theory, psychological theory, sociological theory factors, and also management factors. Now, those are the things that you're supposed to place in mind so that it can help you. For those who want to do some exams and whatever, you're supposed to know that. For those who want to gain knowledge, also it is very, very important because it will push you, it will make you to have a certain knowledge that can push you to move on. Then let us talk about the functions of entrepreneur. What are the functions of entrepreneur? And I've said that entrepreneur is a person who identifies a business opportunity, who carries the idea. Now, if the entrepreneur is a person, what is the function of that person? Number one, he bears a certain is the primary function of the entrepreneur. Losses of profit, he carries that. Is a profit gains profits, or sometimes we figure losses. Also, he bears losses and profits. So the function is just bears. He is proud to become the boss of the business. Okay. Also, he manages business because he's the owner, provides everything for the business. He identifies gaps in the market and turning such gaps to business opportunity. Now, those are the function. Also, finances the business because he's the one who has carried the idea. Also, searching for business opportunity through environmental scanning, mobilization. Okay, telling people about the importance of a certain product. That is what we call mobilization. You mobilize people. You teach people about a certain product. Now, that's the function of an entrepreneur. Also evaluate a business opportunity to assess viability and any other benefits that might accrue to the business. Okay, then lastly, the last function of an entrepreneur provide the necessary leadership for the business and those working it. If you have employed some employees, you're supposed to know how to organize them, supposed to control everything in the business. Now, those are the functions of the entrepreneur. Let us just go talk about what are the advantages of entrepreneurship. There's advantages. The advantage number one of entrepreneurship for those who want to start and maintain their business, number one is the financial gains. It will make you gain in financially. Self-employment, which leads to job satisfying and flexibility, provides job opportunities to the unemployed. For those who are outside there, they're looking for a job, and maybe if you have come up with that kind of idea, it will help you to move on or to open to create some job opportunity. It is a means of opening a new industry, especially in the rural areas, facilitating globalization, a source of generation income and increased economic growth. Those are the advantages of entrepreneurship. Let us move. Facilitate competition, encouraging high quality products, facilitate production of more goods and services, leads to the development of newer markets, promotes use of modern technology, especially small scale manufacturers to enhance a higher productivity. Now, these are the advantages of entrepreneurship. So, if you want to benefit, if you want to become a beneficiary of this entrepreneurship, you want to become an entrepreneur, you'll gain these benefits. So, prepare to open your own business so that you gain such a thing. Then let us just talk about the drawbacks of entrepreneur. What are these things that hinders entrepreneurship? Number one, challenges of being an entrepreneur. Challenges of being an entrepreneur, long working hours. You know, if you are the one, you're the owner, you're everything in the business, you're supposed to leave that business the last. So you are working long hours, poor pay, because you are the one, everything. Okay, everything that comes in the business, the profit, losses you're carrying. So long working hours, poor pay, and clear future. And clear future is like you're struggling, you don't know what will happen tomorrow. But a good entrepreneur is not, he does not lose hope. He keeps on every time, he tries all the time, so that he can pull, push, so to meet his goals. Okay, and now let us just move on under the drawbacks. Other challenge that hits entrepreneur: fear of delegating of responsibilities, the problem, do it yourself and whatever. Competition by established businesses, lack of funds, especially before break, even mismanagement by employees. Now, that the thing that can take back an entrepreneur in the business. Promotion of entrepreneurship. Okay, how do you promote entrepreneurship? Integrating entrepreneurship into the system. That's why you need education, registration of your to encourage risk taking. You have to register your business, nationality companies to promote entrepreneurship, support of entrepreneurs through friendly loans at the appropriate time, evaluation of entrepreneurship. Okay, want to talk about evolution of entrepreneurship, where this depression come from. Evolution of entrepreneurship in interest, the development of entrepreneurship and small enterprises in Kenya gained momentum as a possible remedy to the stagnation of economic development and the escalating unemployment problem between the early 1960s and 1970s. Now, this idea come to Kenya. People started opening business because of lack of jobs. Those the number of employed people are very big. The number was big. That's where people started creating creating some businesses. Although there were attempts to the government to develop entrepreneurship, the main impetus comes from the International Labour Organization (ILO) report. The report entered on the potential of the formal sector and suggested that the bulk of Kenya urban workers were self-employed in small enterprises. Now, this is the thing that made this idea, people carried this idea into Kenya. So, economic and social political factors affecting entrepreneurship development. Let us just end at this so that we can proceed to the next. Let us talk about economic, social, and political factors affecting entrepreneurial development. In fact, this is just like a repetition. We have spoken about that, but let us just have a deeply explanation about it. What are these economic, social, political factors affecting entrepreneurial development? Number one, high taxation level for businesses and personal income. We have corruption and official harassment occurs where entrepreneurs are forced to bribe officially in various government departments that in fact have mentioned some kind certain office, and regulated competition from outside country, liberalization which open importation, competing locally produced goods, declining personal income people due to of increasing cost of living, a rise in unemployment, the high cost of finance, okay, lack of necessary skills, okay. Now those are the things that you're supposed to know. Poor transport and communication network, making business difficult, inconveniencing consumers, high energy cost, lack of entrepreneurial culture. Those are the things that you're supposed to understand. Now, next class, we are going to talk about the myths associated with entrepreneurship. The myths associated with entrepreneurship. But let me hope that I have helped you, given you the right knowledge that will help you to move on and create your own business. Next class, we are going to explain about the the myth or associated with entrepreneurship, the myth associated with entrepreneurship. But for now, let's say, let us just stop there so that we can proceed next class. Next class. So I hope that have helped you. Now you can just move on to subscribe to this, or maybe for those who are online, you can carry this knowledge to your friends. Carry this knowledge to your friends. Try to explain this thing to your friends. Also, it is very important if you will connect them with this channel so that they can also gain knowledge. Now, this is the thing that people don't understand. Some they don't think it is very serious, but if you take it serious, you realize you are getting the right knowledge. You are getting the right knowledge. Now, I want you to understand. I told you that next class we are going to explain about the myth concerning the entrepreneur, the myth that concerned with the entrepreneur. Now, uh, thank you very much for your time, and thank you very much for those who are online. I see some friends there; they are just following me. Thank you very much. Let us meet the next class, which are going to explain about this. And if you need notes about this, you can just contact me. I'll give my numbers 07 90860679, 90860679. You will just go there. Just you can chat me, you can call me so that I can send you some notes or some kind of piece of uh, the content of this topic. I think it will be helpful to your business. I know that there's some people need this outside there, and let me hope that